Hi everyone, welcome to practice. My name is Emma. Today we are not going to need props and we're going to spend a lot of time up on the feet just to take away some of the load out the wrist and the shoulders. I have an elbow injury here in the right inner elbow, so golfer's elbow, you might be familiar with it. And I believe it happened because I don't do a lot of pull movement. So pull-ups is not something that I do regularly, and a lot of yoga. So I'm constantly in this flexed position at the wrist and weight bearing and pushing. Everything is push that we do. So when I quickly went into training some more pull, I went too hard too soon, and I didn't recruit the right muscles in my back and in my shoulder. So through kind of some misaligned yoga postures, but also through going too hard too soon, I've had this injury for quite some time. So I'm going to share kind of a practice that I would do if my elbow was really flared up. But if you are having a great time with your elbows, it's still going to be really handy for you to kind of nurture the wrists and the shoulder and to get up on the feet. A lot of what we do is down in the ground in yoga. It's kind of nice to bring some balance and lightness in the practice. So we begin at the top of the mat. Let's take a big sigh. So deep breath in through the nose, and I just like to open the mouth and let the day go. Focus on a point forward and just make sure that you're stacking here, the head over the shoulders, over the hips. Just take note of the posture. If you need to use your hands just to get you in a correct, neutral, feeling good situation, then use the hands. And once you land, gently flip palms to face forward and eyelids close. Notice the spreading of the toes and the weight and driving down through the feet. And how the more you try to push down, it kind of gives you this energy upward. And strength through the legs, the belly. Notice how it feels to be somewhat open in this shape. The collarbones slightly spreading apart. Take a deep breath into the belly and a deep breath out. And flicker open the eyes, reach both arms up overhead. Spark the fingers, reach a little more and micro bend the knees. Good. And just stay here. See if you can bring the armpits up a little bit more towards the ears. And your fingers are spreading and almost gripping like you would on the mat with the hands flat. And it's almost like my pinky fingers are rolling inward slightly. So I'm rotating at the bicep towards the ears. We take one more breath. Bend the knees more, think chair pose. We'll sweep the hands to our lower back. And I'm taking the palms are facing away from me. I'm still spreading the fingers and kind of drawing the elbows back, but not flaring the ribs and sticking the butt back. So hands are there as a reference just to keep pulling the tailbone down, and the ribs gently come together. Stay pressing in the feet. Imagine you had a block between the legs and try to squeeze the legs in without them moving. Should just activate a little more in the glute and the inner thigh. We take one more breath. Bend the knees more, hands come down, plant the palms. Notice I am so bent in the knees that my belly is kind of touching the thighs. That is a good thing. Take one more breath. Come high on the fingertips. Step the right leg to the back of the mat. Lower the knee. Arms are going to lift up again. Inhale. Anjaneyasana. Armpits towards ears. Lift, lift, lift. Keep toned in the right glute and keep pressing the left foot down and maybe even dragging left heel towards the back of the mat. Nice. Hands come down, frame your left foot. And then pick up the back knee, You can come high on fingertips here to straighten through both legs. Now we're straight into this really intense kind of pyramid fold. If this is the first practice of the day, well, there's quite a resistance here. Bring your hands up to the left thigh and bend into both knees more, but keep hugging everything towards the middle of the mat. So this kind of drawing in sensation, heart pulls forward. Take one more breath. Good, let it go. Soft bend in both knees to step the right foot forward and fold at the top. Roll up through the spine, keep the chin tucked in. Eventually arms sweep up, big breath. Chair pose again, bend knees, hands to the lower back. Elbows pull back, ribs pull in. Bend a little more. Good. Pop the right heel up. And then start to float the right foot. See if you can send it back behind you. Stay bent in that left knee. So your left leg didn't change. Your hands are there for reference. Can you feel the right hip maybe lifting and kind of pull the right hip down in space? Shoot the toes back. Take one more breath. Step the right foot back to the top. Slowly land the heel. Bend knees more, hands to the floor. Left foot back of mat. Lower knees, arms up. Inhale. Lift the rib basket up and away from the hips and tone your left butt. On your next exhale, fingertips frame the right foot, palms flat, any option to lift back knee and straighten through legs. See if you can nestle the right hip back. Option of hands on the right thigh and take a long chest forward. And even if hands are down, can you kind of bring the heart forward? So it's this lengthening of the spine as much as we can. Don't be afraid to bend both knees here. We take 2 more breaths. Micro bend both knees to step left foot top of mat, fold. And then come on, roll on up. Arms reach, big breath in. Chair pose, hands to the lower back, bend knees. Pop the left heel up. Float the left foot, stay exactly where you are in the right leg. And as you send the left toe back, we're balancing here. And I'm really needing to work through my right ankle and foot. Maybe the left leg doesn't extend, because if you feel the left hip start to really open out, you can adjust the pose. We're really trying to fight for a neutral pelvis and a long chest. If the leg is straight, can you point left toes and really shoot them back? Slowly stepping left foot to the top. Toes land, then the heel. Fold the chest forward. Tabletop, both knees behind you. Make a fist with your hands. Forearms kind of spin in and face one another. Check in that the knees are really under the hips. We're not going for a long tabletop here. Now think there's a string pulling from your heart forward. So rather than taking a super extended position here like we usually would in cat-cow, I want you to lengthen the heart forward, tailbone back, and don't even lift the neck. Think the string is pulling from your sternum all the way forward, but simultaneously something is holding your tailbone back as you lift it. And as you round, try to move from the mid-back. The back of the ribs presses up. You can tuck the chin here if that feels good and really punch the fists down. Think long chest as you move into cow pose. And you stay somewhat firm in the belly as well. That might help without crunching the neck. Go for length. We'll do this again. Round and punch the floor, chin to chest. Navel pulls up. Last time round, soft belly, open chest. Tuck the toes and send the hips to the heels. Arms reach up to sky in kneeling in our toe squat. Armpits lift with you. So every time we do this, we access the muscles that we want to help us when we reach. It's the same feeling we want when we're in down dog as well. Good. Bend the elbows, think cactus shape. They're out wide. Stay firm in the belly, but rotate to the right. And pause when you can't go any further. So that is your spinal rotation. We're not using the left hip to come with us. We're really fighting. If your toes are burning, you can untuck the feet or lift up. One more breath. Come back to center. Breathe in. Left side, rotate. Pause when you can't go anymore, and really don't try to fight it. Belly firm, close the eyes, take a breath. Beautiful, come back to center. Tabletop. This time, fingertips face the knees, wrists are forward. Some of us, we might not get the fingertips all the way back. You can rotate to any degree that feels good. Or do one hand at a time. Bring your knees together and bring the feet out wider. And all this is doing, it's spinning your hip in, so internally rotating the hip. For me, that kind of locks the pelvis. I mean, I can't take the movement here in my tailbone. It's really helping us isolate. You can press the palms down and even kind of move away. Weight comes back. Or you can play around, bend and straighten the elbows. It's just really nice to give our wrists and forearms this movement, especially if we do a lot of yoga or just in general life. It's a good stretch. Take one more breath. Ankles come together. Sit back, normal kneeling position now. And then we'll just make a fist, straighten the arms forward and roll the wrists. You might go same direction or opposing. Notice if you're kind of leaning back in this position, see if you can sit a little taller. Or some of you might be kind of pouring the weight forward. Let's get our spine stacked, head, heart, hips. We're still rolling the wrists. Now close the eyes and slow it down. And notice the cracks and the clicks and all the spaces that need maybe a little more attention. Two more breaths. Nice. Hands to the hips. Draw the inseams of the legs together, lower belly up as you sit up on the shins. Right foot steps forward. Left foot steps forward, chair pose. Come to stand. Chair pose again. It's the right foot stepping back. Lower the knee. Kneeling, left knee comes back. Sit down on the heels. Good. Again, lift up to shins. It's the right foot stepping forward. Chair pose. Standing. Sit back in a chair. Right foot steps back. Lower the knee. Left foot meets. Kneeling. Switch sides. So we come up. Left foot steps forward. Chair pose on the right. Stand. Good. Sit back. Left foot back. Lower the knee. Right knee back. Lower the butt. One more. High kneeling. Left foot. Right foot. And up. Last time. Sit low. Left foot back. Knee down. Right foot back. And then sit. Close down the eyes. Take 3 slow breaths down into the belly. Exhale. One more. When you're ready, you can open the eyes. Thanks for joining. It's really nice to switch up the movements, even in yoga. I find it really helpful to recruit new muscles and to kind of get out of the normal pathways, the normal patterns that I find myself in. I hope you enjoyed, and see you again soon.